Hey everyone, my name is Allie Ricketts and I'm going to be your child's fourth grade teacher this year. I know most of us are split between being super excited for the new year, but also being a little bit nervous about all the changes we're going to have to make going back to school really work. So I just wanted to pop on here so you guys can put a name to the face and so that I can hopefully ease your worries and your concerns a little bit and maybe answer some of your thoughts during this coming year, or maybe some of your concerns. So the first thing I want to talk about is that you probably heard that we are opening. So first day of school is the 6th, which is a Thursday. So we'll go Thursday, Friday, then we'll have the weekend to readjust. And maybe make some tweaks here and there, and then we'll have the full-on week the following week. That's the plan right now anyways. We all know that those plans are constantly changing. Before that, we do have the back to school bash, which is going to be a little bit different this year as well. Normally we have it the Sunday before or after church. I think it was Sunday after church. This year the teachers kind of wanted to make it so that not as many kids were coming in the building at one time. So we have our own separate times. So my time is August 3rd from 5 to 7. And in this email attached, I have like a schedule of when you and your kiddos can come in and see their classroom and drop off their supplies. So I hope to talk to you all in person there. And if your time doesn't work, that's totally fine. We can find either another day if that day doesn't work, or you can even switch times with anybody. I made the schedule, so really if you end up switching with another parent buddy, that's totally fine. So just take a peek at the schedule, make sure your time works for you. And again, if it doesn't work, switch with somebody, or just leave me an email and we'll make it work. Okay. So it's just a chance for you guys to see how I have my classroom set up as well to make it as safe as possible. So some of the things I've done to make this year kind of work is I have the desks spread out as much as possible so that we can still move around the room. My room isn't that big to begin with, but I do have those desks spread out as much as possible. I even got rid of some of my excess furniture to add that space. So I have the desks nicely spread out in rows. They're all facing the same direction. What else have I done? I've also kept in mind about masks. So bought a bunch of command hooks to put on the side of all of the desks so that they can hang their masks there whenever they're not in use. I'm not really sure what the guidelines on the masks are gonna be. The most recent thing I heard was that we definitely have to wear them whenever we're in common areas. So like the hallway, or just basically anytime we leave the classroom, we have to wear masks. And then once we're in classroom and we're doing just normal direction, when I'm just teaching in the front of the room, that's whenever they could take a break from their mask and get a breather. With the new mandate, I have a feeling that we're probably gonna have to wear them all day long. So no matter what, I have those command hooks there so that if we do get to take them off later on down the road, they can hang them there, and I'll make sure to keep that area nice and clean. I went to Dollar Tree and I found these really awesome, it's like storage that attaches to the back of your chair. So I bought a bunch of those, and that's where they can keep their water bottle every day. So make sure your child brings a water bottle that meets the requirements that Mrs. Berendez sent, and make sure they also have a mask, a fresh mask every single day. They should be taking those home every day and bringing a new one in every day. As far as masks goes, make sure that they are school appropriate, but also I would really appreciate it if it wasn't the kind that tie like behind the ears, because most likely it's going to come undone at some point of the day and I'm going to be the one that has to tie it. So just the less direct contact we have, the better. So if you can get it without the tie, that'd be even better. Mrs. Melendez didn't say this, but I'm saying this. If you could please also make sure that your child has an extra mask in their backpack, I think that'll be super helpful. Knowing my kids I've had in the past, I could totally see them having an accident with it, whether it's, sneezing in it and it getting all nasty, or maybe dropping it somewhere. So just having a backup would be really nice to have. I'm sure we'll have some in the office, but I don't know how far those are gonna go. So bring a fresh one every day and have one in your backpack just in case. What else? Lockers is probably the only thing I haven't really figured out. So in the 4th grade and in the years past, the kids typically share a locker in our classrooms. So for now, we still have the lockers as where they're gonna drop off their backpacks, but if you guys have any other recommendations of what we could do, I'm up for any suggestions. For now, I'm just planning on making sure that they're not all getting into their locker at once, and making sure that the kid who was in the locker last sanitizes the handles so that the next kid doesn't touch that. So again, if you have recommendations of what we could do instead, that'd be totally fine. I'd love to hear it. Or if you have any other brilliant ideas, that'd be great as well. Another thing, Miss Kester and I went in on lanyards, and I know a bunch of the other teachers did as well in the lower and upper grades. So they bought lanyards, and so our let me back up. So our lunch and recess schedule is completely different this year. It's around the same time, so like 10:40-ish is whenever 4th grade typically goes to lunch. But in order to keep the traffic flow of going down to get our trays and bringing them back to the classroom, to keep that at a minimum, we're actually going to recess first and then going to lunch. So my thought is, okay, so what are they going to do with their masks when they go outside to recess? So that's where the lanyards come in place. They're basically going to, once they get outside, they'll clip their mask onto the lanyard, put it on, and put it down their shirt. I know, not the most sanitary, but that would keep them from having to take it off or put it in their pocket, or so it just seems like the most sanitary as possible without them losing their mask or dropping it on the ground somewhere. So that's the plan for PE and for going outside, is to do the lanyards. Again, if you have other suggestions, we're willing to take it. I would love to do like fanny packs or something, but I can't afford it. So if you want to bring in a fanny pack for your kid to put in while they're playing at recess or PE, go for it. I think that'd be an awesome idea. What else? Yeah, so lunch is in our classrooms. So the one thing that sets apart 4th grade from 3rd grade is switching of classes. I think last year they just switched for science and social studies. This year, your kiddos will spend about half the day with me, half the day with Miss Kester. So I'm going to be teaching them all of the language arts and social studies, and I teach my homeroom religion. So your kids will learn religion from me as well. Language arts, social studies, religion. Then they will spend the other half of the day with Miss Kester, and she teaches all of your math and science. So any specific questions you have related to math and science, email her at akester@fdo.org. That's in the slideshow that you're probably going to view next, so don't worry about remembering that. But yeah, so switching classes. In the years past, we switched rooms and everything. This year, we thought it'd just be easier for us to switch. So Miss Kester and I are just going to switch rooms. Your kids are going to stay at their same exact desk. So they'll have a different teacher, but they're not switching rooms this year, at least until things get cleared up. Let's see what else. Yeah, so switching classes is the number one main difference between 3rd grade. We do some really fun things in 4th grade. My very favorite thing about teaching besides the kids is definitely making learning fun, making it engaging. So you may have seen some of my lessons on Facebook before, where I like to do room transformations. In the slideshow, you'll see some of the examples of things we do. Some of my favorites include, we do a Grinch day, we have a classroom debate, we have the wax museum, which is really fun at the end of the year, and what else? Oh, we have a class auction. So throughout the year, your kids are going to be earning tickets for good behavior. And then those tickets will be adding up in their little bags. And then at the end of the year, they will get to bid on toys and gift cards that were donated from local businesses. And we have an actual auctioneer that comes in to bid off those items, so they get to actually bid with their tickets. It's really, really fun. Kids look forward to it every year. We didn't get to do it last year, obviously, because school closed. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this year. I'm hoping things just are better by the end of the year this year. But if not, Ms. Kester and I will think of something else special to do for your kids. As for the wax museum last year, we did YouTube videos. So you can kind of get a peek of that on Resurrection's Facebook if you kind of want to know what I'm talking about there. But I know this year's going to be a challenge, but I know Resurrection, we always come together despite the challenges, and we overcome them. So we're a team. We're going to make it work. Somehow or another, we're going to make it work. So I look forward to meeting you all at the Back to School Bash. If you have any questions or concerns after reading through everything else in this email, please do not hesitate. And I usually don't give out my phone number just because, I'm more of an email kind of gal, but with all this stuff going on, I want us to be a really close team this year. So my number is 812-431-1294. Call me anytime. If I don't answer the phone, it's probably because I don't recognize your number. So just leave me a voicemail with your name and your number. I'll call you back. What else? In the rest of the email, you're gonna find a parent survey where I would just ask you some questions about your kiddos so I can get to know them and prepare for them. Also, what else? Yeah, so just the overview, and I think that's about it. So yeah, just keep in contact with me at all times. Look forward to seeing you guys all soon. Bye.